some ways was today a little bit more worrying than what you saw on Monday night against Spurs?
In what way?
Just the reaction from the crowd at the end, just the fact that obviously you're putting a lot of emphasis on getting points at Goodison Park, and the fact that you weren't able to do that.
I don't put emphasis on Goodison Park. I want to get points everywhere. It wasn't more worrying than Tottenham. Tottenham wasn't a good performance today. I think the first half we were a stronger team. Wolves do not give you opportunities much. That's why they concede so little. But I thought we were very solid in the first half, had the better chances. And the goal for me changed the whole feeling of the game, feeling of the stadium. That's understandable, the position that the club's in, and that's been coming for a long time. So no, there was a lot more. There were a lot more positives in this game in terms of performance. And again, it's just a disappointing because everyone feels the need for points. It's normal. We've got 12 games to go now, so we can't get too stuck in the rut of looking at this game alone. We lost against a good team in a tight match with 10 men for the last period of the game when you really want to push. So it certainly wasn't on the level of Tottenham now.
The reason I asked that as well, though, is because obviously there was a reaction from the crowd at the end, and that's something that you've not seen at Goodison Park so far.
No, but I've played for 20 years, seen plenty of reactions of crowds. Can't stand there and say thanks very much for helping us play so well against Brentford and Leeds and Manchester City and deserve more in that game, and not expect that fans that want the team to do well, want the team to stay up, want the team to get wins, they're not going to have reactions.
How then do you pick the boys up again? Because obviously it puts greater importance once more on this game against Newcastle on Thursday.
Just my job to do it. It's the job. You go into these games understanding the quality level of a Wolves team. They take everyone to the wire at least. And this can happen in football. So it's my job to be confident, to be positive, to be realistic. And the realistic view is that we've got 12 games, some games in hand on other teams around us. Of course, they're only good if we win them. And we're waiting probably for that moment where something turns in our favour. It was a difficult game for the lads today because we were okay until a cross and a clean header goes against us. And maybe that will turn in our favour. But all we can do is work. We can't think about maybes and what ifs and what will happen about home games or away games. We absolutely just have to work and fight. That's what these positions demand. Any position. You want to win something, get towards the top of the league, you have to fight. If you want to make sure you stay in the league, you have to fight.
As well as the fight, though, is it also about composure? I mean, we've seen John Joe's red card today, but also composure in the final third in terms of creating those opportunities, finishing them off when you've got those opportunities as well.
Yeah, that's football, though, isn't it? I mean, I think with John Joe, it's harsh. It's a lunge that maybe if you go back in time, we'd probably go, I wish I didn't lunge. But as a player that feels deeply for the club, lunged, got it wrong. The foul looks worse than actually I think what it was, but no qualms about it, is what it is. In terms of in front of goal, though, the rules of football. Trying to have composure when you get the opportunities, but again, sometimes you're in moments they don't go for you. If we score in the early chances that we had, it feels and looks a completely different game, and the stadium feels completely different. And that's where we're at the moment. So we just have to keep fighting through that one.
Finally, for me, Frank, just how is Dominic Calvert-Lewin? When are you likely to have him available again?
He's not well, so we'll see. Thanks.
Who's next, please? Hi, Frank. You're saying that taking a wider view and saying there's 12 games to go. Do you think the players see it that way because they're used to going game to game and they react to the results they're getting? Can they see a bigger picture and stay calm, knowing there's a long time to go?
I don't think staying calm is not the thing. I think being on edge is not a bad thing. I'm talking to you about the bigger picture because it's the reality of it. As players and as coaches, we always think about the next one because it will look very different. If the things go in our favour on Thursday, it looks very different to today. And when we're where we're at, there's a longer road to try and get out of this. We can't rely on one result that will change it for us in a positive manner, just the same as we can't take on one result today that we really wanted to win. It didn't go our way. So, yeah, players need to just think about Thursday. And that starts this evening and carries on tomorrow morning.
And how much does it impede you that you're having to change your system for whatever reason? The decision you played today was different to the previous match. And how does that affect the rhythm of the players and how they work with each other?
Well, the idea is the same, but sometimes we come in. We've had probably most games I've played or coached with Everton so far. I've been missing from day one. Ben Godfrey from game two, Yerry Mina and Damari Gray, big players. Dominic's hardly played so much for us really. So when sometimes selection and formations are decided upon by missing big players. And in game today, we had to change because when you play against a back three and they score against you in a tight game, sometimes you have to get an extra attacking player to try and change it. So that's a normal. The idea doesn't change, but sometimes you have to change.
Frank, excuse me. It's obvious that you're trying to get the team to play to keep possession and to play more possession-based football. But obviously, there's a lot of anxiety in the stadium, and there were times when you were trying just recycling possession, which good teams have to do, but the fans were struggling with that. And I mean, is that a problem? And how do you kind of combat that?
We can't. We have to do what we feel is right. And when you say we're possession and we want to be possession, we want possession for a reason, to get out as quickly as we can, move up the pitch. And when you have a back five with three very big centre halves to try and play from A to B, as in directly, is a difficult thing. So we want to play. The players just have to stay brave in them circumstances. I understand the feelings of the fans. They want to see the ball up the other end of the pitch, but at times you have to move the ball to open up those spaces. So that cannot change from us. Can we do it better at times than we did today? Yeah, for sure. Sometimes you have to wait to accept a bit of pressure. Yeah, you do. Because my honest opinion is we were playing a lot more direct before I got here. And what were the results? When I came in, I think we won one game in 14. So we've seen that as well. So we have to find the right balance for sure. But at the same time, we can't revert to something that's somewhere in between. We have to be one thing or the other. At the back end of the game, I was trying to get us to be more direct because we were a man down, and it made absolute sense at that point. But other than that, we have to stick to how we wanted to play, because when you've seen us play that way against Leeds here, against the best team in the country in Manchester City, and we can play through lines, we can be a really effective team. So we and the players have to stay brave on that one.
You just kind of wonder about the confidence, because obviously, as you've already said, that when the goal goes in, then it kind of changes the whole dynamic, and that's like, I guess, how do you address that now? With you've got another game Thursday, then they're all huge games. Is it just what do you do now to lift them?
Well, I've been in this situation many a time, and it always looks slightly different. At moments that are tense, moments where the crowd give you a feeling, whether it's your home fans, whether you travel away to difficult stadiums, and the atmosphere is different. And the only thing that matters then is the group. So my job, first and foremost, is the one to give confidence to the players, to create a mentality where we're together and understand what we all want, which is to stay up. And the positive thing for that, as much as there were some individual mistakes and things today which could be better, that's probably why we're at where we're at, because that's the reality of it. The important thing for us is to have that absolute desire and fight to get out of this for the same reasons, because we want to stay up in the Premier League. And to be fair to the players, it's been a long time that they haven't been winning enough games, a long, long time. And that doesn't change overnight. It's impossible to think it changes overnight without work and without fighting for something to go in your favour. I'm a big believer in that. So the more we fight, the more we stay together, then something may go in our favour that changes the look of it very quickly. We've seen it with some teams around us. Very quickly, they look like they're out of trouble. Very quickly, a team can look like they're in trouble. And we have to keep working to be the team that gets the right results.
Anything further from the room before we check on Zoom? Any further questions from Zoom that you can raise? Okay.
Thanks all. Thank you.